When it comes to pushing boundaries on the big screen, some films go further than others, using bold, provocative imagery to shock, scandalize, or simply sell tickets. In today's countdown, we're diving into the top 10 movies with the most nude scenes, films that sparked controversy, fueled debate, and left audiences talking long after the credits rolled. From arthouse provocations to over-the-top Hollywood excess, these movies didn't shy away from bearing it all. Let's get into it. So the 10th movie on our list is Bolero. John Derek's marriage to his fourth wife, Bo Derek, sparked a series of film collaborations that all shared the same clear objective: to present Bo as an undeniable screen icon. Each project reflected John's intense dedication to showcasing her beauty in the most glamorous and attention-grabbing way possible. One of the most talked about examples was Bolero, a film that has since been labeled by many as one of the biggest cinematic misfires of its era. While it failed to make a significant impact at the box office, it later gained notoriety for its provocative reputation and the controversy surrounding co-star Olivia d'Abo, who was reportedly still a teenager during filming, a detail John Derek allegedly did not know at the time of casting. And the 9th movie is Stacy. Andy Sedaris' visual sensibilities were evident long before his feature film career, particularly during his work on ABC's Wide World of Sports, where his camera often lingered on sideline cheerleaders. That same instinct carried over to the big screen in the early 70s. Films like Stacy, 1973, blended familiar detective tropes with the presence of Playboy model Anne Randall and other notable 70s stars like Anitra Ford and Christina Raines. By the 1980s, Sedaris fully embraced this glossy, exploitation-driven formula, turning movies like Malibu Express into profitable cult favorites. On number 8, we have They're Playing with Fire. You can file movies like this under the familiar excuse, it was a different time. They're Playing with Fire belongs to the wave of exploitation films centered on the teacher seduces student trope, a niche writer/director Howard Avidis had already explored with 1974's The Teacher. A decade later, 80s cult icon Sybil Danning takes the spotlight as a married woman with a calculated scheme. She uses her charm and manipulation to push young Jay Richard toward committing murder. By this stage in her career, Danning was well known for her willingness to embrace provocative roles, and the film's unapologetically lurid premise gives her plenty of room to deliver a bold, uninhibited performance. And the 7th movie on our list is Friday the 13th. There's a common belief that every 80s slasher was packed wall to wall with gratuitous nudity, but that's not entirely accurate. The Friday the 13th series, however, did little to dispel that reputation. That trend carried over into the 2009 remake, where director Marcus Nispel and producer Michael Bay embraced an overtly amplified mix of sex and violence. The film leaned into a harsher, more aggressive tone, pairing brutal set pieces with scenes clearly designed for shock and spectacle. Moments like Juliana Gill's deliberately drawn-out encounter, along with appearances from America Olivo and former pop singer Willa Ford, underscored the movie's unapologetic excess. It knew exactly what it was delivering, for better or worse. On number 6, we have The Perils of Gwendoline in the Land of the Yik-Yak. French filmmaker Just Jacquin earns a spot on this list thanks to his unmistakable cinematic signature, one defined by dreamy visuals and an overtly sensual tone that straddles the line between high art and softcore provocation. The Perils of Gwendoline in the Land of the Yik-Yak, inspired loosely by an erotic comic series, casts Tawny Kitaen alongside the impressively sculpted Brent Huff in a pulpy adventure. The film's marketing leaned heavily into comparisons with Indiana Jones, and while there are flashes of swashbuckling escapism, the movie is equally committed to showcasing its more revealing elements. Even so, Gwendoline is seldom dull, propelled by its bizarre narrative detours and unabashed indulgence in spectacle, ensuring viewers are rarely left unentertained.
Look at the real thing when we get
On number 5, we have Humanoids from the Deep. The making of Humanoids from the Deep is notable, especially when viewed through the dynamic between producer Roger Corman and director Barbara Peters. Peters rose through the exploitation scene before stepping into directing, while Corman built his reputation on producing and marketing drive-in films packed with sensational elements. When Peters delivered her original cut, it reportedly lacked the provocative edge Corman believed audiences expected. He then brought in James Spartalotti to shoot additional, more explicit scenes, reshoots that firmly pushed the film into the lurid territory it ultimately became known for. And the fourth movie on our list is A Dirty Shame. John Waters hasn't helmed a feature since his 2004 flop, but that hasn't diminished his long-standing reputation for gleefully pushing boundaries. A Dirty Shame fully embraces the filmmaker's trademark taste for outrageous, taboo-shattering material, earning an NC-17 rating in the process. True to form, the film filters its explicit subject matter through Waters' signature pitch-black humor and camp sensibility. Still, that bold approach failed to connect with mainstream audiences at the time, and the movie was largely shunned upon release despite its unmistakable auteur stamp. And the third movie on our list is Emmanuelle. Circling back to Just Jackin', it was Emmanuelle that cemented his reputation worldwide. Marketed with the provocative line, "X was never like this," the film became a cultural lightning rod and a massive commercial success. It also transformed Dutch actress Sylvia Kristel into an international icon, her performance blending innocence with sensual confidence in a way that captivated audiences. The movie's popularity extended far beyond its initial release, giving rise to a sprawling web of sequels and reboots. Its influence even crossed borders, inspiring an unofficial Italian spin-off series titled Emmanuelle, spelled with a single M to sidestep legal trouble, that pushed the concept into even more extreme and sensational territory. On number 2, we have The Wolf of Wall Street. Given the excess at the heart of Jordan Belfort's story, it's hard to imagine The Wolf of Wall Street toning anything down. Terrence Winter's screenplay embraces the unchecked indulgence, money, power, drugs, and relentless debauchery that defined Belfort's meteoric rise and spectacular collapse. Rather than feeling gratuitous, the film's explicit moments amplify the frenzy and moral freefall driving the narrative. They blend seamlessly with the film's larger-than-life portrayal of its era, reinforcing the idea that the outrageous content isn't a distraction from the story. It is the story.
No alcohol.
And the last movie on our list is Piranha 3DD. Looking back at the Piranha franchise, it's hard not to notice how the series' artistic credibility seems to dip as its reliance on sensationalism increases. Joe Dante's 1978 original balanced its drive and appeal with wit and craftsmanship, even if it included a bit of expected skin for the era. The 2010 remake amplified the spectacle considerably, leaning further into outrageous set pieces and overt fan service. By the time Piranha 3DD arrived in 2012, subtlety was no longer part of the equation. The film openly embraced its identity as a brazen B-movie, marketing itself around shock value and eye-catching excess, aiming purely to provoke and amuse, though without the cleverness and charm that made the first film a cult classic. So, have you watched any of these movies? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.
Well, that's the fucking point.